Folks, Italo Labignan. Listen up, folks. He'll give you some tips.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
You know, it's nice to take a break and actually be at the sports show this time of the year. Has anybody fished a lure that looks like a mustache? This is called a Wacky Jack. And I had the privilege of fishing with a woman by the name of Jerry Toner. She represents a company called Fishing Complete. You saw the Mad Tom earlier that I was using. This is a plastic bait made by Kiss Plastics. And it's a plastic worm. And I don't have the hook in the worm. I actually have an O-ring that I've slipped using a Wacky tool. I put the worm in the Wacky tool, and then I put the O-ring slid over in the middle. And then I've taken this is a shaky head, and it's got a little bit of a barb. And this one, I didn't pinch the hook back. All I have it is slid underneath the O-ring, so I haven't hooked the worm. It doesn't have much of an action. You'll see when it's dropping, it doesn't do much. If I lift it up and shake it, it does this kind of thing. It's bubblegum color, which I don't think there's any bubblegum in the water, but I can assure you that it catches a lot of fish. I did a show in Lake Nipissing with a good friend of mine, Regan Thompson. He called me up. I've done many shows, Mascanange Lodge on the west side of Lake Nipissing. And he said, I've been getting lots of smallmouth bass. He went up in September on spinners, on paddle-tail crabs. And I said, well, I've got this Wacky Jack. I'm going to try it. It caught 90% of the fish in the show. To the point that whatever packs of these Wacky Jacks I had to leave with him because he's the lodge owner and he fishes a lot. So the first thing I'm going to do is just drop it down so you can appreciate the action that the Wacky Jack has. You can see when it's falling, it doesn't have much action. But when I twitch it, look. So this is called a Wacky rig, and the presentation is called a Wacky worm rig. And I'm doing a little bit of shaking. I have that shaky head. So if I was fishing from a boat, you could fish it right below you, like this. You can see we've got some interest in this bubble gum. Or I would toss it out. I'm going to toss it way out of the back. I'm going to let it sink slowly. And I'm going to slowly work it back. Now if you have really good eye control, try to keep one eye on the Wacky Jack and one eye on my rod tip. So when I lift my rod tip up, all I'm doing is shaking. I'm shaking the rod tip. And it's giving that Wacky Jack that vibration going through the water column. This Wacky Jack or any of the Wacky rig worms are usually in more natural colors. This is a bubblegum, it's pretty bright. And it really helps to fish them when the water's clear and when the fish are inactive. Oh, good. This is a 4-pound test and I don't have the hook bent back. So it's interesting, of all the fish, of all the lures for a fish to grab, and that was a big rainbow, it grabbed a Wacky Jack. I'm glad I didn't set the hook. Okay? So you can see that there's a lot of interest generated by it. So to me, it's not a feeding presentation, even though it's moving slow. It's something that triggers fish into grabbing it. It works especially well when fish are inactive in cold water. So early in the season, you know, I live in the Niagara region, and I can fish for bass on the New York side of the Niagara River, Lake Ontario, and Lake Erie all year long. So they have an open bass season. You can't keep the bass until May 1, but in Ontario, we can't even fish for bass until the last Saturday in June. You know that, right? So I get a lot of experience fishing in Buffalo Harbor and fishing the New York side of Lake Erie when the water is really cold. Look, I could go out there now and catch bass, and they would hit this Wacky Jack. I don't know why, but it works really well. So the company that makes it is called Fishing Complete. You should check them out on the internet.